back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Anyway, I know I've been gone for quite a time, 2 weeks maybe. It's because I have been quite busy in my rotations. Previously, I was rotating under the neurology department, and mind you, neuro was kind of toxic for me. But today is the weekend. I decided to make this video for you guys. I know a lot of you are currently looking into applying to medical schools, and I just wanted to share with you guys the factors that I took into consideration, or maybe you should also take into consideration when choosing and applying to medical school. So some of the things that I will be sharing with you guys are my own experience and my own opinion, so it doesn't really necessarily have to be your opinion. I just wanted to share my own opinion regarding this, so if it helps, and I hope it helps. Anyway, for the first thing, one of the factors that I considered was, of course, location. Location can play a big role in terms of your medical school preference, because it can help you save money. If you live near your medical school, then it can actually help a lot. You don't have to spend for transportation, you don't have to spend for a dorm. And if you want to study near your current place or in the current area, maybe you can look into some of the schools that are actually present there. I know you guys might be wondering, in terms of location, I'm not studying back in the province, instead I'm studying in Manila, and that is because I wanted to kind of just learn how to be independent and be on my own. At the same time, I kind of wanted to widen my experience and perspective in terms of the medical career, meet new people, gain more experiences that I might not be able to learn if I were back in my comfort zone back in the province. And studying med school in Manila had kind of opened up a lot of things for me, experiences for me, and more learnings. Because if you are in a city, a big city like Manila, and there's so many people, that means that there are so many people who can go to the hospital, especially if it's a public hospital, and that can help you gain more exposure once you get to clerkship. And actually learning from different people, learning from different doctors who have their own experience, a lot of things, especially because, back in the province, to be honest, we don't have that much doctors as compared to the bulk of doctors that we have here in Manila, which is so many. It's kind of saturated already, but you kind of learn from these people, and yeah, that's one of the things you kind of have to take into consideration. Number two, maybe you guys want to consider the type of school that you will be going to. So there are private schools and there are public schools. So some of the private schools I know here in Manila are UST, St. Luke's, Ateneo, UERM, LaSalle. These are some of the private schools here in Manila. And if you go to the provinces, I know CIM, Xavier University. You also have Davao Medical Foundation and West Visayas. These are some of the private schools, and some of the public schools that you can also apply to may include UP, of course, and there's also the MSU in Mindanao. And yeah, those are the medical schools that I know of. If you have more medical schools and if you have more knowledge in terms of medical schools, you can leave a comment down below about it. And there's a difference between a private school and a public school. I will say this in my own experience, and if you want to negate it, maybe you just can post your opinion in the comment section. But for my own opinion about this thing is that when you're studying in a public school, it's different from when you are in a private school. Because when you come to clerkship, like me specifically, clerkship in a public school and in a private school is kind of different. Because if you kind of rotate in a public hospital compared to if you rotate in a private hospital, some of the skills that you need to learn, like IV insertion, extraction of blood, NGT, it's kind of limited if you are, learning in a private institution compared to if you are learning it in a public institution. So yeah, those are things that you may want to consider, and also, the tuition also is kind of different in terms of, the public and the private standing. So yeah, for me specifically, of course, I chose UST because my mom is from UST, and that is like a top school in the country. And I just want to be in the same school where my mom graduated, because I've seen how she is now in terms of her practice, and you know, I've looked up to her in terms of that. And also, I guess one of the things you have to consider is also maybe the medical school rank. I'm not saying that a school's rank may say a lot on where you will be in terms of your practice, because wherever medical school you come from, all of you guys, you know, when you become interns and become doctors, you all become equal. You know, everyone starts from scratch, and it doesn't matter which medical school you went to. But I guess knowing the medical school's rank may play a part in your own decision making, because a medical school's rank actually says a lot about their way of teaching and how they handle their students. So the top schools in the Philippines are this one. And I guess knowing the medical school rank of your school may also, you know, may also play a lot in your decision making, because you already know how well the schools teach their students, especially because you kind of see the outcome in terms of the medical board exam. From my perspective, I am encouraging you to apply to the best schools also in the Philippines in medical schools. Take your chance on it, because you know, being in the cream of the crop, or like in the top schools, the top medical school in the Philippines, may actually play a part, and also in your process, in your learning of medicine. But the process involved in applying to the top medical schools in the Philippines can be quite competitive. So I'm already telling you guys that you actually have to work hard for it. You have to get high grades in your college level, especially the subjects that are required, which includes biology, physics, biochemistry, chemistry. Yeah, those are things you have to remember. You have to actually get high grades on those subjects, and then you also have to have a high NMAT grade. For Ateneo, they kind of require an NMAT of 90 percentile and higher. Same for UST. When I applied, they wanted applicants to have an NMAT score of 85% and above. Actually, you have to have at least 70%, and for URM, you have to have at least 80%. That was when I was applying, so that was back 2015. I'm not sure if they have, you know, increased the required NMAT percentile, but for them to accept you, you have to be aware that you have to have a high NMAT score. So you have to prepare for that. And if you really want to be in the best schools of the Philippines, you have to actually prepare yourself for it, because there's a lot of competition that is into it, because so many people are applying to the medical schools also. You know, also try to make up for it. If in case you have low grades, you know, just balance it off with your NMAT, because they actually really look into the NMAT. Mind you, always say really look into the NMAT. Regardless your grades are just average, if your NMAT is high, they will most likely accept you. If your NMAT is average, and if your grades are average, then maybe you can do well on your interview and actually share to them that you have got what it takes. So regardless if it is one of the top 10 schools in the country, or it's also a medical school of your choice, you guys always have to remember that you actually have to work hard for it, because there will always be a lot of competition involved, because there's so many students who want to become medical students. Anyway, also one of the things that I considered is the type of teaching. So medical school can come in different types of teaching. So if you guys know it, so CIM, or the Cebu Institute of Medicine back in Cebu, is they actually do a problem-based teaching. So a problem-based teaching is different from the traditional way of teaching. So it can range from, you know, you guys have to actually read the book for you to learn about it, and you're given different situations or problems. And yeah, if you guys want to learn in that way, maybe you would want to consider applying to CIM. And in UST, we have a combination of like a traditional type and an outcome-based learning. And you know, there's so many things that you kind of want to look into, so you guys can search for it if you want to apply to a specific school. You guys want to know their way of teaching, because can also help you guys in terms of the way that you want to learn medicine, because mind you, there are so many things that you actually need to learn in medicine. So I guess knowing the type of teaching can help you guys in the way that you actually want to learn medicine. And lastly, of course, you have to consider also the costing. Medical school is actually an expensive school because there are a lot of books involved, and the process, or like the learning itself, is actually kind of expensive. Unless you are a scholar and applying for a scholarship, then it can actually help a lot. So depends on the kind of financial status that you have. You have to take into consideration also the tuition. And yeah, what I want to tell you guys is that, you know, apply broadly, apply to a lot of schools that might accept you. Don't just apply to your medical school of choice, but apply to a lot of different medical schools, so you have a lot of options in terms of which medical school you will actually choose. You know, because once you only apply to a few medical schools and you don't get accepted to every medical school that you applied to, your options kind of shrink down to a little. So apply, keep on applying, and just hope for the best. These are the things that I just want to impart to you guys, and maybe we can talk more in the comment section down below. Maybe I missed out some things that I wanted to share, but just kind of, you know, slipped my mind. But for now, those are the things that I want to share, and I wish you all the best of luck in applying to your medical school of choice, and I wish you choose the right and the best medical school for you. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more medical school videos, don't forget to leave a comment down below and maybe give suggestions on things that we can talk about in terms of medical school. Don't forget to like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Yeah, bye!